Welcome to Foundation Focus. I'm Tom Jones, president of the Education Foundation, and in this segment we welcome two very special guests. The first is our 2021 Teacher of the Year, Melissa Nelson. Melissa,
hi,
welcome.
How are you? Thank you.
And also I'd like to welcome our 2020 School-Related Employee of the Year, Donna Haynes.
Hi,
Donna,
thank
welcome.
You. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm really glad you're here. At our last segment, Dr. Perry was here along with Makita Brome, the 2020 Teacher of the Year, and we had an opportunity to review the process a little bit from her perspective last year. As this program airs, the Night of the Stars celebration took place on February the 8th, so it just passed recently. And I must say, from my perspective, it was one of the better ones. Certainly in terms of the audience, we had over 900 people at Lincoln Park Academy celebrating excellence in the public education system. And it was just terrific. Dr. Perry always does a great job. Jane Whitaker did a terrific job. And it was also flawless from the background. You know, a lot of times you don't see a lot of the moving parts and all, but it was a flawless ceremony from the perspective of the way it had gone out. So we could focus more on celebrating the excellence. And when I heard the names called, and Donna, you and I know each other from the foundation, and Melissa, I think we've met a few times. I said, boy, we really have some winners. So I wanted to congratulate the both of you.
Thank you.
And I just want to start off with Donna. Maybe you can just start off and Donna, and just kind of tell us from your perspective, because it's a long process. It's a very long process from the time that you become a nominee, or at least you're being interviewed,
right,
and to when you know you're a nominee, to the selection process.
Well, so. It is. It goes quick, but yet it drags by. So I guess it just depends on what you're doing and what day it is. But it is such a wonderful process just to be nominated by your peers that you work with at your school. It's just fabulous, because I know I work with some of the best people that St. Lucie County could ever employ. But I'm sure a lot of people say that because we all love our schools, and we all are very fortunate to have great people to work with. So I was a bit surprised when they showed up looking like Publishers Clearinghouse with the balloons and the flowers.
Prize Patrol, we
the
call
Prize
it.
Patrol. And I was very surprised, because I've only been at Manatee 2.5 years, and I really didn't think that was going to happen. But when they came in and surprised me, but it was just a very comforting, proud moment, because somebody has looked at what you do and said, wow, she really does something great. So it was a proud moment. The night of the, are we talking about the night of the ball as well?
Sure, the night of the start,
okay.
Right, the night of the
Well,
event
I knew that was going to be amazing, because I've been several times before, and the Education Foundation does top notch. It's like something you see on TV. You know, it's everybody's dressed up, and they have the nice reception beforehand, and just the children that are involved. That's amazing, because they're really out there doing their best, and it just makes you feel proud that you're a part of this community, this district that has such wonderful talent and great people. So it was just, I knew it was going to be a great night. I had no idea how great, but I really knew just going in, it was going to be a wonderful night.
Well, that's great. You know, the purpose of the celebration is just what you said, to recognize the talented people, because I don't think the public knows that. I mean, there's so many individuals in this school district that have put their life into educating our children, both from the teachers' standpoint as well as the staff. And I've been here 5 years now, just amazed. So I wanted to really, in a personal manner, just say thank you so much for all of your dedication. And I can also tell you that the foundation is a proud sponsor. We don't run the actual ceremony. All of the hard work is done by the school district. Dr. Kevin Perry and the staff, the folks at Lincoln Park Academy, are there helping out. And there's a lot of moving parts. WLX-TV, our partners here, are terrific individuals. They spend a lot of time with all the videoing and the scheduling and all. I'm always amazed, because the school board comes as part of the Prize Patrol, the school board, and Mr. Gent studies all of the applicants and all of the finalists. He knows something about them. Of course, Mr. Gent is really learned, and he understands, but he's got a good way about him. And he insists that we go right into either the classroom or into the work environment to speak with your peers while the cameras are running, so the audience can get a real sense of the work environment that you're in, and also some of the excellence. And we're going to talk a little bit more in a few minutes about about your journey to becoming a school-related Employee of the Year. So thank you very much, Donna.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that. And Melissa, so tell us from your standpoint, from the time that you were, I guess, nominated. You're nominated by peers. Is that how it
Yes.
starts?
So I was nominated by peers at my school, which was awesome because, I work with a lot of wonderful teachers. So to the fact that they nominated, me and was the person to represent Allapattah was awesome. And then we go through an interview, all the teachers from each school go through an interview process here at the district, and we interview with a panel of people, and they have, certain questions that they ask. And then we did a TV interview with Dr. Perry.
Okay.
All of us did. And then they came in with a surprise patrol, or prize patrol as you call it.
Right,
They came
right.
in, and I was shocked. I saw the camera coming. I have windows in my classroom, and I saw the camera coming, I think, before the camera could get my face, and it's probably a good thing because I almost cried, and my jaw hit the floor. I mean, it was so exciting to find out I was a finalist. So that was very cool.
Yeah, it's really good. So, it's really nice to see the school board there. They're always there, and of course, Mr. Gent's there, and some of the district cabinet members are there as well. So it's really nice to see that. I'm also privileged because we have several benefactors that have been with the Night of the Stars for quite a while. I just want to mention that the Night of the Stars this year was the 40th consecutive celebration for Teacher of the Year, and it actually started out as a Teacher of the Year celebration only. And then about 30 years ago, and I'm not exactly sure when, it was expanded. I look back in the history of the Education Foundation. We're 30 years old this calendar year, starting in May of 2020. But we've been supporting the Night of the Stars for 30 years. So it's truly one of our first programs. And so that along with the teacher grants. And we're still doing it, And I've been doing it personally for 5 years. And at first you don't quite understand all the moving parts, but then you understand the magnitude of it and what it means. So it's really great. And I just wanted to just spend a moment. I always call it a commercial, but I want to thank our corporate sponsors because we're the sponsor of it. But I go out and ask individuals and corporations to sponsor the program. And so we have Mid-Florida Credit Union, which sponsors Teacher of the Year, and they actually started out as a teachers credit union, so their heart is with the teachers. Sharita Walker is the vice president, area manager. She's on the board of the foundation, and her heart is right with the school district, so she's always there. Mid-Florida also provides a $5,000 check, award check, to the Teacher of the Year, and $2,500 a school-related Employee of the Year. So that was a game changer for us, And of course, we still have the I guess it's a bowl or crystal cup that we give as a gift. I also might want to recognize there are other categories as well. We have Distinguished Minority Educator of the Year, and we also have First Year Teacher of the Year, Principal of the Year, and then the Assistant Principal of the Year. So it's a much broader category. But the two that are recognized by the state of Florida are Teacher of the Year, which we call TOY, T-O-Y, and then S-R-E-Y. So we'll be using that language too. But so for the TOI and SREY, those are recognized by the state of Florida. So you have peers throughout the state that are having similar recognitions. And I know for you, Melissa, you're going to be traveling around, visiting the governor, visiting the chancellor of education, as well as visiting your peers. So it's a great opportunity to expand your horizon, expand your sphere of other teachers and learn from them as well. And anyway, so I wanted to thank Mid-Florida, who is the TOI sponsor, and I also wanted to I have to go through the book now. Okay, my brain it just doesn't work, but I've got to go through the book here. So yeah, so we have this is backwards actually, okay, because it goes from front to center. But we have Remnant Corporation, and Remnant is a company that is a locally based company in Fort Pierce, and they sponsor the teacher of the school-related Employee of the Year. And then we have Seacoast Bank, which sponsors the Outstanding First-Year Teacher of the Year. And then Kaiser University, for many, many years, has sponsored the Distinguished Minority Educator of the Year. So those are the four that have come back year after year. And I'm going to say over 5 years, the 5 years I've been at the foundation, they've always been supporters. And it's almost like in each of them say, well, that's my category, you know that, so don't find somebody else, you know, to do that. So anyway, I want to thank them for all of that. And I also want to just chat with you, and maybe we'll start with Melissa, and you know, tell us about, you know, something about yourself, how long you've worked at for the district, how long you've been at Allapattah Flats, and maybe talk about your duties at Allapattah Flats.
Okay. So I've worked only at Allapattah Flats. So my entire teaching career has been at Allapattah. I've been working at Allapattah since, for 10 years.
Okay.
I started out there as the school data specialist, and I was finishing up my degree, and I was data specialist for 2 years. And then I moved into teaching. There were some people who really pushed me, and they said, you have a passion for students and for learning. You need to go in the classroom. So I took my certification test, and I went into the classroom. I've been teaching for 8 years.
And now what grade
I teach
do you
8th grade,
Eighth grade
is what I teach mostly.
Okay.
Or throughout those 8 years, it's been mostly 8th grade. I teach Algebra 1, so it's an accelerated course. It's a high school course that kids are taking as 8th graders. I'm also an instructional coach. So I do a lot of teaching and modeling with teachers, working with teachers. I pulled groups of students out who are struggling. I work with our teachers on ELA, science, civics, and of course math. So I do a lot of peer coaching with my peers, as well as teaching with students.
At the 8th grade level, the students are moving around, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, they are. It's almost like high school, I guess, in a
Yes.
way. Okay. And Allapattah Flats been there for 8 years, you said?
I've been at Allapattah for 8 years.
8 years, okay.
I think the school is 12 or 13 years old. I don't know off the top of my
it was
head.
built out in off of Glaze Cutoff, and for a while it's been sort of isolated, but now with all the growth, it's getting
Now we
more
have
and more
some
roof
houses.
pack.
And
Right,
it's
a
so
lot of rooftops.
exciting. We have a neighborhood. We actually have walkers and bike riders, and that's cool, because when I started there was nowhere to walk.
Right, it was just way out there. That's correct. Yeah, there's something like I don't know, 8,000 homes scheduled to be built out there.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Donna, you are at
I am the executive secretary at Manatee Academy,
Manatee
K-8.
Academy,
So we're a
K-8.
K-8 school.
and Manatee is where?
It is off of Heatherwood in St. Lucie West.
Okay.
Just down the street from St. Lucie West Centennial.
Right.
And just that right off of Kashmir. So I started there 2.5 years ago. I came from Francis K. Street, where I was there for 14 years. I have 23 years with the district.
Wow! Congratulations.
So it's been a nice change. The people are all wonderful. I am in charge of all of the payroll. I'm in charge of the office, the substitutes, the classroom coverages. If there's not any coverage for lunch duty, that's my favorite part. I get to go to lunch duty and see all the kids. And a lot of people are like, gross, you really want to do lunch duty? But yeah, that's when you get to see everybody, you know? So I enjoy that part. And I also have started a drama program with some of our ESE kids. So, and they really, really enjoy that, because that's something that a lot of the kids don't get to do, because if it's after school or something like that, their buses, of course, take them, and they can't stay after school if they don't have transportation. So that's been very rewarding. And I also work with the tutoring program after school, which we'll be doing after I'm finished here, going back to do some tutoring.
So in your job, you touch everyone. You touch the students, of course. You touch the staff, the teachers, and on a regular basis.
I try, and that's what I like most about it, because I do have that interaction with everybody. So it does make it nice, because I do get to see almost everybody, not every day, but at least during the week, because when you're a K-8, it's a pretty big campus. So the middle school's on one side and the elementary's on the other side. And it did take a while to learn everybody's names, because you don't see them all the time. You don't see the middle school people on the elementary side too often, because that's their area. So it is nice that I do get to move around and see everybody and get to know a lot of people. It's been great.
You know, I spent 2 years in Fairlawn, okay? Because what happened was the school district had the hurricane, and we were all dispersed. And I was put back in the 2nd grade. I always tell people that, because that's the grade I failed. You know, so I didn't make it up. So there's some justice in the world. So I'm back in 2nd grade. But what amazes me is that the school does such a great job. When all the students come in, they can bring all these students in, account for every single one. They're all in place. And the day gets busy, of course, and students are moving around. And at the end of the day, every single student is put back on the bus or accounted for as they're being picked up by their parents or their caregivers. And, it's all works like clockwork. And I know your job specifically is so key to that. I guess you must be doing scheduling all the time, too.
It's a process.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
lunch
process.
schedules and duty
Right.
schedules and resource schedules, and then, of course, the schedules for the teachers themselves, because you have to have, everybody can't have elective at the same time, everybody can't go to lunch at the same time, so you do have to kind of work out of that. And then you have like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then if there's 5 classes in a grade group, then you have to have 5 days. So then you have to remember who's day 1, who's day 2, that kind of thing. So it all gets laid out. There's a lot of people that are involved with that in the summertime. Everybody comes in over the summer and just gets it all put together, and hopefully it clicks.
Well, it certainly takes a lot of passion. I just wanted to ask you, I mean, you were selected amongst your peers, okay? And I don't know if you know what all the metrics really were, but let me ask you just a question. What do you feel is the passion that you have that really made you stand out as an SREY?
I think the children.
Okay, your passion for the children?
A lot of the non-instructional people don't get a lot of interaction with the children, and I think that we need that. The children are why we're there. So I really enjoy seeing them. That's why I don't mind the lunch duty and the breakfast duty, because I do like seeing them. I couldn't sit in a little office all day long. I need to get out and be with the children. And just like with teachers, the children change classes, so they get to see fresh faces every 45 minutes, every hour, whatever that is. But that's my thing. We're here for the kids, and we're here because of the kids. If we didn't have these children, we wouldn't have our jobs. So sometimes we're the first face they really see in the morning if they're ones that put themselves on the bus. When they come into breakfast, you've got to be that happy, smiling face for them, because they might have had a bad night. We don't know what happens at home.
That's right.
So the love that they show, the hugs, the thank yous, I have cookies, would you like to have one, Miss Haynes, kind of thing. Just that, I think, is what makes the day all worthwhile, just
There
being
it
around
is.
the children.
Yeah, okay, terrific.
I really love
yeah.
that part.
That's great. And Melissa, I mean, your school has it's a big school, right? And so tell us a little bit about the passion that you have as a teacher.
Well, my passion is absolutely, like she said, and I hate to steal your answer, but
That's
it's
okay.
everything I do is about the students. I'm constantly looking to see, how can I do something better for them? How can I improve myself to become a better teacher for them? So I'm always looking at new instructional strategies, based on what they need. How can I help them better? I always try and make sure that they have somebody who they can go to if they feel safe, somebody they can talk to, somebody that supports them. But truly, every decision I make while I'm on campus is what's best for them and how can I help them more.
Now, the school district, from my viewpoint, I'm not a teaching professional. The Education Foundation is the nonprofit fundraising arm of the school district, basically, but we're a separate corporation. I'm privileged because I get to work amongst all of you every single day. But from my perspective, in the last couple of years, the school district has really stepped it up in terms of the urgency, stepped it up in terms of the focus, and very metric oriented. I can see that. I can see the graduation rates growing, and probably in the near future we'll be an A-rated school. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter of when, not if anymore. So from your perspective as a teacher, I know there's a lot of changes taking place. There's a lot of, I'll just say there's a lot of pressure on all of us to excel, okay? And what are the parts that of all of those of that mix that really makes you stand out? I mean, because you in this time of change, you stood out, and the school district is very, very proud of that.
That's a tough question. I would say, what makes me stand
You
out.
can brag a little bit though, because it's a time of excellence.
I'm not good at bragging on myself. I would say what makes me stand out is that, I make sure that the students are learning where they're supposed to be, and, that there's some accountability on my part as well. If they're not learning what they need to learn, then that reflects on me. So I always want to make sure that we're doing our best to make sure that they're learning where they should be. I agree with you. The district is super focused. We have a great laser focus now of this is exactly what students need to know. And I think the district has done a great job of helping us as teachers know what do they need to know. So that's wonderful. We do a lot of data-driven instruction. I go back and I'm constantly looking at how did they do on this question? How did they do on that question? How can we improve them for the next time? How can I review this? Where can I weave this into my new lesson, but still review this older content. And I think that's what kind of helps me stand out. Sometime last year, I actually got students mid-year. I didn't even have them the full year. They came to me halfway through, and I ended up reteaching the first semester along with the second so that they were ready and prepared. So I think that's I feel what kind of helps me stand out a bit.
The school environment is a lot of testing now, isn't it? I guess
It
it's very
is.
metric-oriented, data-driven, and all of that. But there's always that human part of it, right? I mean, helping the
Absolutely.
children out.
The data is important and the test scores are important, but ultimately it's making kids feel that somebody cares for them and pushing kids to be the best they can. I will always tell you that a student's social emotional well-being comes first. That comes before academics. And if you get to know your students and learn about your students, that academics kind of goes with it. It all goes together. But when students feel comfortable around you and can talk with you and you have a relationship with students, the rest just kind of falls into place beautifully.
That's great. What is your hope for the broader benefit that you will bring to the school district as TOI for 2021?
Well, I hope that I can inspire other teachers to see my passion for the classroom. I truly love coming to work every day and getting to see students every single day. And I hope that other teachers will see that and be inspired by that. I hope that other teachers find the importance of building relationship with students and having that social skills with those students and making sure that we are connecting with them. I think that every child on every campus needs to have at least one, if not more, adults that they know and they can tell you, Miss Nelson cares about me, or Miss Jones cares about me, or Miss Haynes cares about me. It's so important that those kids know that somebody is there for them. And that's really my thing and my passion, is making sure that students have someone on a campus for them.
Donna, that's very similar
I
to
agree
what
with that. I
you
tell you,
just
she's amazing.
mentioned, right? You do that every day too, don't you?
That's true, because some of them have the home life that, I mean, we don't know what happens at home, but you can
Right.
just tell on their faces when they come in that something's not right. And I had a young man text me last night, which was perfect timing for today, thanking me for the difference I made in his life. He's graduating, I'm going to toot his horn a little bit, graduating from the University of Florida with honors and got accepted into architectural school. His top 3 that he picked, he got accepted into all 3, and one of them has given him almost a full ride. So he texted me last night telling me this great news, because we've stayed in touch over the years, and just that text saying thank you. If it hadn't been for you, I might not have believed in myself. That to me, that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, there it is. That's the common theme here, is the really caring about the individual student and being there for them. All of us have a favorite teacher, a teacher that made a difference in their lives. Mr. Gent tells a story that he became an educator because a teacher reached out to him and said, you should go into teaching. And he always said, I never thought of it. He was a coach and in sports and all, but he said, maybe there's a space for me. And so it's the same here, Absolutely, and yeah. But the common issue really is all about the student, putting the student first as an individual, caring about them, because we don't see them every day, all day. We only see them from 7:30, 8 o'clock until 3 to 4 o'clock or so, and then they go home, or they go where they need to be, and then they come back. But they have all of that life experience and all those issues that they have to deal with.
Right.
So and you get them front and center at that moment, And of course that mixes that is very busy during it. And there's hundreds of students, right? I mean each of you touch probably hundreds of students a day. So it just shows how wonderful each of you are as an individual and caring about our kids. And it shows, and it's really terrific. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really, really want to.
Thank you.
And I think the district chose wisely.
Well, I'm very excited, and I'm very happy for Melissa as well. So I know it's going to be a wonderful year for both of us. And we'll even probably form a beautiful friendship out of it, because we'll be there for each other.
Yeah.
Terrific. Now, Melissa, you've got some duties at the state level, I think. You're going to be traveling soon.
Yeah, I'm still learning a little bit about it.
Okay.
What I do know is over the summer there's a professional development and I believe like a gala, sort of similar to Night of the Stars, that honors all of the Florida's county representatives. So I'll be traveling sometime over the summer to attend that professional development and the state level gala.
You and I were just chatting before the show that you have a seat for a year on the board of the Education Foundation. So I want to
Yes.
encourage you to come to our meetings. Be a voice, okay, for teachers and a voice for the school district, and because we're all about supporting the district and trying to further public education, and we think we've got a pretty good our sense of the pulse, but we always want to hear more, and what comes out of those conversations is the board focusing our energies and our funding on programs that really help a child at these critical points along their life. And Donna, it's the same thing. You and I deal with some of the scholarships and all,
Right.
okay, and but be a voice for us, okay, and kind of help us stay fresh and help us stay current also. So I want to just thank you both again. Let's not be strangers, okay, during the year. Let's not be strangers on the show as well, okay? I just want to mention to you, we're just setting up in June. We're going to have a celebration for all of the school district staff, just to come together at the end of the school year. Certainly want you all there, both of you there, to kind of celebrate. It's not a fundraiser, it's just a time for us to get together, kind of look back on the school year from the perspective of the foundation, where we helped out, what we can do better for the following year. So then we'll have you. So I'm looking forward to
That's
having
exciting.
both of you
I'm
back.
excited about that. That's very
And there'll
cool.
be
Thanks for a lot of
food
amazing
and
things.
beverages and all, and just it's a fun time. Okay. I also want to mention to the audience that we're sort of like on the. I guess you probably feel like we're kind of getting over the hump of the school year. Okay. So this program airs in late February. But our scholarship season is
Coming up.
coming up.
It's coming up.
So scholarships are open today to our students.
Awesome.
So I would encourage all graduating seniors in public schools to go online at efslc.org, look for the scholarship icon, click that, and place your application. We have one application today that filters through all of the students' applications, and then it pre-selects any number that they might qualify for. And we have a number of donors. Some of them are scholarships for academic excellence. Some of them are for students that have struggled. Some are scholarships in memory. Okay, and Donna, we have one that's in memory of your son.
We do too.
We do, yeah, we have several for that. So, I would encourage the students to place the applications. I want to encourage the guidance counselors and the staff to talk it up.
Right.
Because actually last year, although we had many applicants, there were several scholarships that were funded, but that we didn't have enough students to qualify. So if a student's sister goes, gee, I won't qualify, you could qualify. And we try to make it even. We try to make some of the scholarship academically oriented for excellence, but some of them just for the story of the student that has struggled, the student that has have really worked hard, and maybe their grades weren't the absolute best, and that's okay, but they want to go on to either graduating work ready or maybe going on to secondary education. And the foundation wants to be there for them. And we thank all of the donors, and Donna, you're a donor, and thank you for where your heart is in memory of your son. So I want to encourage the audience to place the application. The deadline is on March 22nd. That's when it closes. And then the awards will be announced, the winners, on April the 10th. And then at Central again, Fort Pierce Central, we'll have the ceremony. So that ends our program today. I want to thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to one more program in April. So thank you very much.